Hello friends, welcome back. Want to stop cloud misconfiguration before they even happen? Azure Policy is your cloud's silent enforcer, automatically keeping your resources secure, compliant with no extra work. Imagine no more VMs popping up in restricted regions or risky settings sneaking past. Azure Policy catches it all. Let's dive into how it works and why every cloud environment needs this guard on duty. Let's take an overview of the Azure Policy. Azure Policy is a powerful tool that ensures resources in your cloud environment compile with the organizational standards and regulatory requirements. So why is it important? It helps prevent the misconfiguration, improves the security, and ensures the governance without manual interventions. Let's take an example. Imagine you want to ensure that no one in the organization deploys a virtual machine in a specific region. Let's say Asia. Azure Policy can enforce this rule automatically across all of your teams. It's like having a security guard at the door of your cloud environment. Efficient, right? So let's dive in and see more deep into it, and then let's have a very good detailed demo of creating policies and how it will enforce it. Alright, so what is Azure Policy? Azure Policy is a service in Azure that helps you manage and enforce organizational standards. Why do you use Azure Policies? By using Azure Policies, we will get these things. Like we can ensure the governance and compliance are taken care, which security, compliance, and cost management standards will come into picture. We can prevent the misconfiguration. We can improve the security. Automation will automatically happen. We don't need to do anything special as the cloud environment grows for the organization. Auditing and reporting is also taken care. All of these things are, so all of these things are important why we use Azure Policies. So let's talk about the key benefit of Azure Policies. It's consistency, meaning if you create a policy and apply to a particular subscription or a group, it applies to everything, all the resources. Or if you apply a policy at a management group level, it applies to every subscription that comes under that. So consistency is the key. That is one of the key benefit. There are other things. It will prevent resource misuses. You cannot bypass this policy at any cost. Okay, for example, it enforces the tag. If you create a policy that has to have a tag, then it will ensure that without tag you cannot even create a resource. It can help in cost management. It can also help us in continuing the continuous monitoring, like regularly scans the resources and see whether it's under compliance. So those kind of things are the key benefits of the Azure Policies. Alright, let's dive into the demo. I've logged into the Azure portal, which is portal.azure.com. So what I'm going to simulate here is, let's say there are resources that needs to be created under a particular resource group, and we need to ensure that every resource that is created under that resource group has a tag to it. Okay, so for demo purpose, so I'm going to go to the resource groups and I'm first going to create a new resource group. Okay, just the resource group. Okay, so under this subscription, I just have a resource group named mobile app RG, and this is under US East. So I chose the basic information. I created a resource group which is here. This is a resource group name. Under the subscription, it is deployed under the US East region. That's it. It itself has a tag, and then I'm going to create a resource group. Okay, this is just a resource group which will hold a collection of resources. Now what we are going to do is going to the search box and type policy, and you will see something like this called policy. Click on the policy. When you land on the policy page, you will see the default policy or Microsoft enforced policies. Just those are like to help the customers. Okay, it will tell you the compliance things and all of those things. We don't need to worry about all of those things right now. Okay, now what you need to understand is, to the left side under the authoring, there's something called definitions. You click on definitions and it will show you all the inbuilt Azure policies here. You can search here with anything that you wanted to search. So if I search for tags, it's going to show me all the inbuilt policies that are related to the tags. For example, add a tag to the resource. That is what I'm going to use. But you can also see VM, search for VM. You'll get to know the inbuilt policies for the VMs. See, there are so many inbuilt policies. Each inbuilt policy has its own um, you know the definitions and all of those things. So let's see. Add a tag. Probably I'll search like this. See, add a tag to the subscription, add a tag to the resource group, add a tag to the resource, which means if I choose this, it will take me to this place. It will, because it's inbuilt policy, it is displaying the policy definition here. Okay, so generally when you create your own policies, if at all, okay, in an organization, you can use the template like this format, and then if you define the definition properly, you will be able to create a policy, or you can also use the inbuilt policy and do some alterations. All right, so I'm going to click on the assign policy. The first one is the scope. It is asking where do this policy applies to. I'm saying apply this policy to this subscription. Under this subscription, apply this to the resource group named mobile app RG. So there is a team who's developing a mobile application. They're going to create a lot of resources under this resource group. So that's the assumption. Now we want to ensure every resource that is created under this resource group has a policy, has a tag. So I choose this, click on select. Exclusion is under that resource group, if there are any existing resource, do you want to exclude that, or those kind of things will come up here. Okay, and then we don't need anything, we can close this, and this is the policy. You can change the policy here if at all you want to change it. And this one is a version. If you click, it basically says any minor version that Microsoft releases, do you want it to upgrade it automatically? If answer is yes, choose yes here. Minor version means you see this 1.0, that won't change. Dot start, that 1.0.1, 1.0.2, they are called minor version. Major version means 2.0 itself is a major version. Now, do you want it to also include the preview versions? I preferably say no, because policies are set and tested. If anything that just comes without tested, you should not take it. So in general, in organization, they don't do it. For experiment purpose, they can do it, but in the real world, in the real applications, projects and all, they don't do it. Anyway, so let's choose cancel. You can have some description, and can you want it to apply this policy right away? Enforce this policy. It's enable means it will enforce the policy. You can come and disable the policy, so it won't take care of this compliance. Okay, so it's like switch on and off. Now next is the parameter. It is saying you should add a tag called name and value. So what it is saying is, let's say somebody is creating a resource. We wanted to ensure that a tag is automatically added if they don't add it. So let's say environment, and I'm saying it is production. Okay, so this tag will be added automatically for this kind of a policy. Remediation is if there are any resources that is not applied, do you want to apply that? That is what the remediation means. Okay, so remediation task will be created. So remaining, I will just keep it as it is, and then non-compliance message, right? You can write some message here which will show up if it is not in compliant. Okay, last part is review and create. If I create, the policy is getting created, role assignment, everything is done. Now let's say I wanted to create a resource. Let's say I want to create a application inside. Okay, under this subscription, under mobile RG, I will just say sample demo. I come to this next, I don't give any tag. I come here and I create it. Alright, the resource is created. If I go to resource, you see this tag that we gave and the policy, it automatically came. So this is one of the policy that will ensure that this tag is added. But let's create another policy. So this time what we are saying is that team, the same team, whoever is creating a resource, the resource should be created within a particular location. For example, it should not go beyond the US. Only within US the resource should be created. If they try to create by mistake in any other place other than US, let's say Europe or Asia, it should be prevented. So that's the policy. So I'm going to click on the definition and search with allowed location. There's a policy called allowed location. Okay, so I'm going to choose the allowed location, and then again assign policy, choose the scope. Let's choose the same scope, same resource group. I don't want to exclude anything. See, now it will show. The existing resource. See, correct? So that's what the exclusion is. Earlier it didn't come, right? So anyway, so we don't need to choose to exclude it, and then this is all good. Let's go to parameters and then allowed parameters. You see this? It is asking us what you want to do. So like I said, the policy is allowed location, right? So I'm saying, or else let's do this. Let's say it is allowed to be only in US East and only East. Okay, so only in US East, only in these two. Okay, so let's do this. Let's keep it simple. So I choose two location. Remediation is we don't need to have any remediation for now. And then complaints message. Okay, so I have a complaint message that only US East is allowed to create a resource. I applied this, policy created. Okay, so let's go to this resource group. Let's go inside this. Okay, so let's do this now. Let's create a resource. I'm going to create a resource, let's say web app. Okay, because anyway it won't allow us to create. So I choose this. Okay, so we have that allowed region policy, right? So I'm going to choose this. I'm trying to create a web app resource. I'm choosing the subscription and I'm choosing the right resource group and just name something. I really don't care because it will stop. Look at here. I'm going to choose Australia East, or even Central US is also will be stopped. Okay, so let's say Australia East. I'm trying to create that such thing. Let's say it's a free tier, doesn't matter. I come all the way through create and review. It looks everything is good. It is trying to see every validation is correct. All right, form validation. So let's something is missing. Okay, so this is fine. Let's go here. Okay, so here everything seems to be good, but I'm going to click on create. Okay, so now what will happen? There is a policy that will enforce that this resource should not be created. Here you go. I got the error message. The deployment did not go through. It clearly says the policy is disallowed because only US East is allowed. See, this is what the importance of the policy. Now the policy will enforce based on where the scope is. It will not allow you to create resource. Doesn't matter. And generally speaking, as a developer or something, you will not have access to create or edit policy. So organization will set up all of those things and you will be enforced to follow the standards from the organization. Similarly, let me give you some example, right? As a new joinee, you come in certain companies, they will create a virtual machine, which is called VM. And in that VM only, you'll be working it. So they will, every VM is cost. So for cost protection also, they'll set up a policy that only this maximum this type of VM you can create. You cannot create anything other than this. Like for example, you can create only a VM with 8 GB RAM, not 32 GB RAM, something like that, right? So because 32 GB RAM is costly. So if someone tries to create it like administrator or something, that by mistake, they will be stopped because policy will enforce that, right? So let's quickly recap about the common policies. So there are many common policies: allowed location, allowed virtual machine, SQAs. SQs means like SKUs. SKUs will allow you to choose what type of VM you're allowed to create. Tag resource that we saw, auditing, insecure configuration, all of these things can be applied in policies. So we also know how policy works. It's basically policy definition, assignment, evaluation, remediation. These are the steps. So in summary, policies, right? Azure Policy helps organization to enforce the governance, security, and compliance. It automates the enforcement of rule across Azure resources, reducing the human error and ensuring resource optimization. So we also saw the real-time examples in restricting the regions and having a tag automatically added to the resource. Those kind of things we saw. I hope you enjoyed this video. You would have understood how the Azure Policy works. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section. If you're looking for something specific video, do let me know in the comment section as well. And spread this word, forward this to your friends. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech tutorials. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Happy coding!